lawyers that was prepared to take on the system. As a young lawyer at the time, I was working with Bob Schwartz, representing Ray Santana, had met him several times at Spofford in connection with the case. But then his family hired Perez for little or no money. I feel he did it for the publicity. He did nothing for Santana. Santana's he's being generous when he's saying, the lawyer midway through the trial said, yo, I don't think he really did it. Because the lawyer really didn't care. I think for students today, and I also think about my own career as to what would have happened if I had had the opportunity to be in that trial and fighting it out with Linda Fairstein and Liz Lederer, both people who I know and known them professionally over the years. They thought this case was going to make them. But in reality, this case broke them. And if you students, be students of history. Dr. King called it the law of unintended consequences. You think you're doing this, but in reality, something else is going on. And I would say that every 20 or 25 years, there's another one of these cases in this country. You go back and do your history. Nobody in this room knows the name George Whitmore.
Say the last name.
George Whitmore.
Whitmore.
George Whitmore was prosecuted in New York the same way these kids were in 1963 for what they called the Upper East Side murder of two white women who were raped and murdered in their apartment. George Whitmore had never even been on the Upper East Side, but he signed a 67-page confession that the district attorney argued to the jury, why would somebody sign a 67-page confession with only the details that the person would know unless they did it, or the police officers that were there. After 10 years in prison, it was shown that he didn't do it. He was released. His life was destroyed. 20 some odd years later, Central Park, same thing happens. Everybody in this case should know who George Stinney is, S-T-N-N-E-Y. Do y'all know who George Stinney is?
No.
No. George Stinney was executed by the state of South Carolina in 1944 for the murder of two white children. He was 13 himself. He was given the death penalty after his 1 day and a half trial. He was executed as a 13-year-old. That's right. Except for in 2014, the state of South Carolina said, my bad, we executed him wrongly. He didn't do it. We move on. So what I would say to the students, everybody here, no matter what your background is, you can participate in justice. You can participate in change. Don't look for your validity in the system. The great question was asked, what is the system, is there any redress in the system for the injustice that happened here? Answer, none. The redress for this is in the hearts and souls of the people who understand the history. Because what you do is, you then go out and champion the world. You know, you become the next Mike Powell. You become the next Colin Moore, who had a stroke and died after this. You become the next Michael Warren. You become the next generation of people who stand up and make a difference. You become Kim Montgomery.
Can we find out something about their background that made them unique? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you can find out about the back. Yes, you can. You know, I always tell people, don't get mad at them kids you see on 8th Avenue and whatnot throwing rocks at buses. Because I used to be one of them kids out there throwing rocks at the tour buses. And at the time, I had a chance to go to college on something I used to call the dreaded affirmative action. You know, ooh, my God, the worst thing that ever happened to the country. I went to school on a Malcolm X scholarship. And by the time I graduated from college, they took back all the Malcolm X scholarships. Except for a couple of people who took advantage of it. As young people here today, y'all have an opportunity. You go into college, this is a time when you can use your mind, learn as much as you can. Kim Montgomery said something correct. How could you fix something if you don't know how it got broken? You end up toiling around wasting time. The more you know about your history, the better position you are to champion change. The less you know about your history, then you're just spinning your wheels. You see this, you think, oh, this was terrible. What this happened back in 1990? This can't happen today. Hello, it happened right in Brooklyn, just this year.
What case?
The case that Kim Montgomery was involved with. Only difference is that the kids had a lawyer like Kim Montgomery, and there was a videotape. But for that videotape, them kids would be on Rikers right now.
I don't know what happened.
Every politician, including the African-American politicians, got on the news that night and downed those kids.
What was the charge, though?
Rape, same thing. It was a rape of a black girl in the park. And one politician, who's a former legal aid attorney, who knows better, got on the 6 o'clock news and said, sisters are gonna be able to walk these streets. These young men have to learn. And she was wrong. What happened to the presumption of innocence?
We're not afforded the presumption of
You know,
innocence.
what happened to, wait a minute, let's find out what happened. And fortunately, these young men had good lawyers. Those young men did not have good lawyers. The next generation of the good lawyers are sitting in this class. Whether you black, white, Latino, or whatever, you can participate in justice. Because all people have participated in the changes that have made it possible. There are a lot of women in this class. A lot of people left, they shouldn't. I mean, look, when I went to law school, which was a long time ago now,